welcome to Monday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. You can see I'm still on my laptop today. I hope the sound's okay. It seemed to be all right last night according to the comments, so I'm gonna persevere with it. Now, one of the great things, or one of the most enjoyable things I found about Cracking the Cryptic is to find out about, who are the perhaps surprising people who are also interested in puzzles. So, I mean, obviously James Charles springs to mind. Kurt Hugo Schneider is undoubtedly one of the most brilliant people we've ever communicated with. He is seriously sort of genius category person. And we've also been intrigued to know that one of our patrons is in fact 12 Tone. Now, some of you, I'm sure, will be followers of 12 Tone's YouTube channel. He has about 400,000 subscribers, and he sort of specialises in sort of deconstructing pieces of popular music and classical music actually, but I knew about him because I'd looked at one of his videos in which he deconstructed Comfortably Numb by Pink Floyd, and I'm a massive Pink Floyd fan, a huge fan of David Gilmour, and of course the guitar work in Comfortably Numb. So I really enjoyed watching 12 Tone sort of analyse that piece of music in his own way, where he sort of draws these pictures on the musical score. It's really, really clever stuff. This is his YouTube channel here, you can see. I mean, he's really got a very, very interesting set of videos there. Definitely recommend having a look at it. Anyway, as I say, he's a patron of us as well, and he sent us a puzzle, and that is what we have on screen to try today. This is, he calls it Knight's Court Sudoku, and the way it works is that basically, in fact, I'm going to read the rules so that I don't get them wrong. Let me just get them up on my screen so that I can read them to you correctly. Normal Sudoku rules apply. In addition, the central box marked in green is full of knights. Each cell in that box must see exactly one cell with the same digit by knight's move, so that's a chess knight's move. All cells outside of the central box are not knights and thus do not see any cells with the same digit by knight's move, except potentially in the central box. So we can sort of do knight's move Sudoku around the edge, and then we have to be a bit careful when we get to the middle. So it's an intriguing rule set. Our testers really like this puzzle. They say, again, it's not too difficult, which is very suitable given that yesterday's video took me 6 hours to upload. Yeah, this is the perils of any sort of Wi-Fi uploading. Anyway, let's give this one a go. Do have a go yourselves. You click on the link under the video to play the puzzle, and with that, let's get cracking. Now, it's a beautiful looking construction, isn't it? Mark would be proud of me today. That square is a naked single. Mark has an uncanny ability to spot naked singles, but that square can only be a 6, look, because if you look at what's missing from here, you can see 2, 4, 5 and 6 are missing, and 2, 4 and 5 all appear in row 8 already, so this square's got to be a 6. Where does 7 now go in row 8? Well, it can't go there because of the knight's move constraint. It can't go here, so 7 goes there. We're left with placing 1 and 9 in this row, so we can do that because of the 9 there. So 1 and 9 get placed, and we're off and running. 9 in box 8, look. This 9 and this 9 and this 9 interact, give us a 9 here. So 9 in the centre must be in one of these 3 squares. And remember, we can't assume this isn't a 9 because this 9 may need to see this 9. We just don't know yet. Where should we look now? 1, 3 and 5. Let's have a look here. So this has got to be a 1 or a 5. This has got to be a 3 or a 5. And this can be any of those things. Maybe coming back to this column, 2, 4 and 5 to place. This 2 is incredibly powerful because it sees that one normally, that one by knight's move, so we can place a 2 down here. This becomes a 4, 5 pair. The 2, oh, nearly. There must be a 2 in one of those 2 cells now. Again, we don't, unfortunately this 2 doesn't tell us the right order. 5 must live in one of those cells because of this 5 here. 3 must live in one of these cells similarly. 7, look. 7 must be in one of... Ah, no, 7 must in fact be there because of this 7. So 7 we can place. And now there must be a 7 in one of those 3 cells in the centre. Oh, where can 6 go in box 9? Look, these 6s, and that square can't be a 6 because it's a knight's move away from that one. So 6 goes into the corner. 6 can't be here because of the knight's move, so 6 is in one of these 2 cells. Eight. Oh yeah, 8 is a bit restricted in this box because of this 8 and this 8 interacting. These can't be 8s because of knight's move. That can't be an 8 because of Sudoku, so 8 must live in one of those 2 positions. This 8 does rule out that square, but and that 8, so we actually get an 8 in the middle. And this 8, we may have to mark this because this 8 is seeing an 8 by knight's move, and it must see exactly one 8 because of that the instructions. So I'm going to actually change the colour of that square to indicate this square is complete. We mustn't see any more 8s from this cell, so that square couldn't be an 8. Actually, it couldn't be an 8 because this is an 8 anyway. But nines. This 9. Oh, this 9's quite interesting in 2 ways. Firstly, it rules out 9 from those cells, so there must be a 9 in one of those 2 positions. That gives us a 9 in one of these 2 positions. But also, over this side, these can't be 9s, so there must be a 9 in one of those 2 cells as well. And that places a 9 in here because this 9 does see that square. This can't be a 9 now. This square now. This square, if this was a 9, it would need to see a 9 by knight's move. I don't think... No, it can't. It can't see a 9. This square does not see this 9, or this 9 by knight's move, and it can't see any other 9s, possibly. So this, in fact, cannot be a 9. I think that has to be a 9. Therefore, that's a 9. Twos. Where does 2 go in the centre now? So 2 must be in one of those 2 cells. Right, we can do the negative constraint again. Look, can the central square of the grid be a 2? I don't think it can, because this 2, before this 9 was in play, there could have been a 2 here, but now this can't be a 2 because of that 2. This 2 is unseen. This cell just cannot get to a 2 by knight's move, so the 2 must live here. This, yeah, now that's interesting as well, because now this 2 does see a 2 by knight's move. It's this one, so we can turn it purple, and therefore this square can't be a 2 as well, because that would break the rules. So the only place for a 2 in box 4 is there. Which means there's a 2, look, in one of those 2 cells. This square can't be a 1, 2. It can't be a 3. It can't be a 5. It can't be a 6. It can't be a 7, 8, or 9. There's another naked single. Haha, Mark, I'm catching you. So there must be a... in fact, there must be a 4 exactly there, just by Sudoku. And this 4 already sees its friend. So that knight is complete. There's a 4 in one of those 2 positions now. Do we know the arrangement? Not quite. This 9 has also seen a friend, so we should colour that one in a different colour. Okay. Now, what's next in this? So if we have a look at this row, look, we need 3, 5 and 7. This has got to be a 3 or a 5. I don't think we know much about those two squares. Okay, now I'm a bit stuck. So what is it that I need to spot next? 6s, no. Six has got to live in one of those three positions. I can't see how that's restricted, but I'm going to notate it anyway. Oh, well, that is actually okay, because this 6, look, rules a 6 out of those two cells. So I know that the 6 in box 2 here has got to be in either column 4 or column 6. Now we've just notated the 6 is there in column 4 or column 6. So where does the 6 go in column 5? It can only go here. Now, does that do anything? Nothing obvious. 1, 3, 5 and 7. But it does allow us to ask where 1 goes in column 5 now. This one sees both of those squares by knight's move. This one sees that square. So there must be a 1 here. Now that's lovely, because that not only disambiguates this as being a 5, this as being a 3, this as being a 1, but it also gives us a 1-2 pair there, look. This, now 1 must live in one of those two positions. The 3, is that useful? Yes, it rules a 3 out from that square. This 5 must be a 5 in one of those two squares. This square's got to be the missing digit from this box, so it's got to be a 4. 4 is huge. Look at the 4s. Oh no, it's not. There's already a 4 here. The 4 goes there. It's still a little bit useful. So 4 must be in one of those 3 squares. It's an intricate puzzle, isn't it? It's very, very enjoyable to solve. And sort of surprising. The logic is unfamiliar somehow. 3, 7, 8 into those squares. This can't be the 8. Ah, that can't be an 8 either, look. So the 8 goes shunted into the corner. Must be an 8 in one of those two squares, which joins the 2. So we find a 2-8 pair up at the top of the grid. And that square, look, has already seen its 8. So we can't repeat this. We can't have another 8 there, otherwise this cell would be broken. So that's a 2. That's an 8. 8 lives in one of these two squares now. 2 lives in one of those two cells. Do we know which one? No. Those squares on the left now have to be 6, 7 and 9. You can see this is 7 therefore. This is a 6, 9 pair. Let's have a look down here. Oh, yeah, where does 6 go in column 3 of the grid? Can't go there because of this 6. So this is the 6. That removes a 6 from that square. So we get the 6 and the 9. We get the 9 over there, which gives us the 2. This 2 disambiguates the 2 and the 1. The 1 must now live here, because it can't go there, in box 6. So, now that's interesting. Look, we've got a 1-6 pair now in the centre. Now, can we... Yes, if this was the 1, it wouldn't see a 1 outside of the centre because it can't see that one, or that one. And there's no other 1s available. This is not the 1. This is the 6. This is the 1. 6, this must be 6. This is 1, this is 4. Just unwinding Sudoku. 4 and 5 there gives us a 5 into this square. That must be a 5 now. This is a 4, and that should be an 8. Oh, we're cooking with gas all of a sudden, are we? I did that a bit quickly, actually. Let me just double check that. This is certainly the 8. I'm comfortable with that. But what I'm not comfortable about, that is the 3. Yeah, okay. That should be the 5. These two squares, look, have got to be 5 and 7 somehow. And the 5 up here disambiguates it without us having to worry. So let's just double check now. So this 5 definitely sees 1 5. But it mustn't see 2, so we can get rid of that. That's a 5. The 7 does see a 7, and it must only see 1 7. So this... look! This square, if this was a 7, the 7 clue would break. Because it's already seeing a 7 here. So this square mustn't be a 7. Therefore, its only other option is a 3. This is a 5, this is a 3 to complete that box. This square here's got to be a 3 by Sudoku. That square's got to be a 3 by Sudoku. That square's got to be a 7. And let's double check now. Yeah, that sees 1 3 exactly. That's good. I'll turn that purple. This has got to see 1 1 exactly, and it does. And this has got to see 1 6, and it does. I think this is correct. Let's check. Yes. Lovely puzzle. What a puzzle. I mean, these people, they're just so multi-talented. Not only is he sort of musical genius, but also it appears as an exceptional puzzle maker. 12-Tone, I really enjoyed it. Thank you very much for sending it in. Thank you for being a patron of the channel. Guys, let us know in the comments what you thought of the puzzle too. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.